Another SimCity Build It video, and I'm going to do this video live for now until I actually make the written changes in the Missy's Building Guide. Now, for those of you who are going to be watching this video after it's been streamed, we're going to go ahead and talk about what is going to be talked about in this video until everybody kind of joins in and all that. So, first thing is, many of you may have noticed, especially if you're joined in on a lot of the Facebook groups, that there's been some changes to the contest to mayors. You can now access the contest to mayors at level 11, and I've been kind of contemplating what that means for the Missy's Building Guide. Now, after seriously thinking this over, okay, I have decided that I'm actually going to change the leveling, but I'm going to give you guys two options from in the Missy's Building Guide. One option is to remain on and take the risk of having your game completely fucked. And if you choose to do that, then that's on you. Now, you'll understand what that means here in just a little bit, but there's been some technical issues with this game, and it's not giving people a very important feature, and there so far has not been a solution that I know of. And I have not seen anybody release a solution to it from EA, among other technical issues. So that being said, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk. And so I'm adding option 2 in so that you don't have to take that risk. And we're going to talk about what that means, like I said, here in a little bit for you guys as far as leveling goes. So the Missy's Building Guide, for those of you who already have a copy of it, it's pretty much going to remain the same, mostly throughout the whole entire, but there's going to be a couple key changes, and the key changes are going to be about leveling, what types of residential homes that you're building between levels 1 and 24 is going to change, and the VU Pass and the war, the original Missy's Building Guide, they didn't have the VU Pass out at the time it was written, and so back then, it really wasn't beneficial to launch war attacks because you had to get so many points in order to even obtain any kind of war chest that offered such minimal prizes. It just wasn't worth it. It really was not worth it. You would accumulate them enough for your assignments to be able to do what you needed to do to proceed on with the contest to mayors. You didn't need to participate in war any bit extensively in order to be successful at the contest. Now, that's changed, okay? And you have a little bit of an added benefit with that VU Pass, whether you purchase it or not. Do I recommend that you purchase the VU Pass? Absolutely not. It's an absolute ripoff, okay? If you are an avid war player, do I recommend it? Well, that depends on what the game means to you. If you're somebody who plays this game religiously and it's really important to you, that's totally up to you on whether or not it's worth your money. Right? So maybe the first level might be for $2.99, but they go up in price, And so you also have to take into consideration that you have these war bundle packs that pop up on the left-hand side of your screen here. Well, that is not worth it either. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But the war bundle packs, they pop up all the time for like $14.99. You buy card bundle packs. If you were going to drop money on the war feature, that's where you'd want to put your money at. Okay, you get a hell of a lot more bang for your buck buying that than you would ever buying the VU Pass. Now, the VU Pass is full of a lot of useless stuff to a lot of avid war players. So, a lot of people that play war, they're easily able to obtain war simoleons because they usually win wars, so they get the 5,000 simoleons. And then you've got the people that are in clubs and they stack up their boosters and things like that. So most people that play war quite a bit, their main focus is getting cards, and that's it. And so if that's the case, then you'd be better off spending your money on those VU bundles that pop up on the left-hand side. Okay? Now, if you're somebody who's following the Missy's Building Guide, I'm not. The Missy's Building Guide is written for levels 1 through 24. And then it changes a little bit from levels 24 to 29. And then at level 29, you can pick whatever kind of city you want to go from there because you're really just building the foundation to your city. Now, the only way that this would change would be if you were building a war city. You would just focus a little more on the war feature than you would be by doing the Missy's Building Guide, right? Other than that, it doesn't matter what kind of city you want. This is the template to a perfect city, okay? If you want to know, which decisions to make that are most efficient, this is what you're going to want to do. There's no question about that, okay? So let me see how many of you guys are on here so far, and then we'll hopefully kind of get started on what's going to be changing exactly. All right, what's up, you guys? Okay, who all do I got here? I can't see which viewers I got. All right, so first of all, okay, anybody here having issues with Epic projects? Let's talk about that first. And by issues, I mean, are you level 24? Okay. I'm going to talk about something that's happening to people that's really fucked up. And I mean really fucked up. Fucked up enough so much, in fact, that it's made me change the entire Missy's Building Guide to speed level you to 24. Okay? Now, think about what that means. Okay? So, give me a second to find my thing here. I had my stylus in my hand, and now it's gone. Hang on. So a lot of you guys are, there it is. A lot of you guys are putting a lot of time into, well, even if you're not trying to, you put a lot of time into this game, and the last thing that you want to do is waste your time, right? Especially when you've already had to restart one city to make the perfect city. So I would hate to have this happen to so many of you and not have a solution, okay? We're going to talk about something here, and this is some fucked up shit from EA, and I don't know, they better come up with a solution real quick, because, man, they're not earning too many points on the brownie points here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got some people pissed off right now with the content they've been putting out and the cash grabs and the constant price tags on everything. I mean, they're starting to seriously lose some fans here. They got me about ready to be done with the damn game too. So, I'm telling you, they're not doing too well right now as far as being the most popular company in the world. Now, here we go. Okay, first off, the Santa Workshop, absolute joke. Do not buy any of the slots unless you are somebody who spends a lot of real money on the game. You see yourself playing it for years and years and years, because it will probably come back around next year, I'm sure. And you have the money to blow it. If you're somebody who's just starting out and, you're limited to cash and things like that, you'll have another opportunity next year to waste your money. So don't do it. Okay, it's just not worth it. I've talked about which items are worth it to produce in this shop. We're not going to talk about that right now. But just know that this shop is an absolute ripoff. Most of the items cost you money. Okay? Now, what do we know about epic projects? They're extremely important to the game. So for those of you who don't know what they are, okay, I have a whole entire playlist about epic projects and their importance on your gameplay. For those of you who have been neglecting this aspect of the game, maybe you don't have this feature in your game. I don't know, maybe you're somebody who just can't do them. You need to seriously figure out why, okay? Start getting on EA about it. It's not acceptable to just not be able to have this feature in the game. Now, here's what's happening to people. When you hit level 24, okay, you unlock the epic projects to actually make them. So when you first start out, you'll get this tower here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on it here. So many of you guys have seen this tower in your city. This is the Department of Epic Projects, okay? It's found in your government tab. When you click on it, it tells you how many tokens that you have stored that you can use. These tokens are used to speed up your production, right? Now, production is extremely vital to the whole aspect of every aspect of this game. Okay, if you're talking how to complete epics, you're going to want to be able to speed up production, if you're talking making money, doing contest to mayor's assignments, having money for your Omega City, your War City, everything. It's crucial. It really is. And it's really crucial at lower levels, okay? Now, here's what's going to happen. Or here's what should happen, okay? What should happen is you'll unlock bronze tokens first, okay? Then you're going to unlock silver tokens at level 20. Once you hit level 20 in the Missy's Building Guide, I tell you guys to camp until you hit 350 storage. I'm changing that. And I did not make that change lightly. Know that, okay? So I'm putting a note in there, and it's going to be in big, bold red letters, that if you do not proceed on, as I have suggested, and you do not have the Epic Projects feature available to you at level 24, that's your fault, okay? Your fault. Not my fault, your fault. Now, pay attention. This is serious shit, okay? If you hit level 24, like all these other people that are coming up to me in my messenger and saying, hey, Missy, I'm level 24. I have plenty of regular residential upgrades maxed out. I have plenty of coverage. I've talked to EA. I've done everything I can possibly do. I'm looking at their maps. I'm looking at their stats. And there is no reason why they shouldn't be able to do an epic project. None at all. Okay? Now, granted, it has nothing to do with how many tokens you have stored. I've seen people with 5 tokens stored, 10 tokens stored, 300 tokens stored. That has nothing to do with being able to complete an epic project. So do not burn through the only tokens that you have, assuming that that is the cause of why you can't do your epics. Okay, that's not it. Now, I'm telling you guys that I'm going to show you guys something here. And we talked about this guy in some of my previous videos. He had jumped up on the stream and asked, why can't he do epic projects? Now, he definitely want you. The very first thing, you go through the basic checklist, right? You're going to say, okay, do you have a regular house? Okay, you have to have regular homes fully upgraded. These here are regular homes fully upgraded. All right. He has, if you look at his map, he has plenty, more than enough coverage of, okay, there's an education building there. You can look around and you'll see on his map that he has several different types of categories. He's got transportation right here. So he's got the stuff to do it. Okay. He's level 28. So he's well above the level to be able to do an epic project. You get that unlocked at level 24. Now, he's got his Department of Epics, which is connected to the main road, so there's no issues there, which is another thing that, EA suggests. Now, here's the issue. He has not been able to do an epic project at all. And he's not the only one. So after he told me this, I went out and I kind of ventured into the internet world and I was looking around. And of course, the very first thing that you see is everybody's going to tell you to have a regular residential maxed out, right? And then when you say, oh, I do, and they say, oh, well, you got to have coverage. And then the people don't understand. They're just assuming, okay, whatever, it's no big deal because they just don't know, right? Now, it's not till you get an experienced player that says, wait a minute, no, that's not right. That's fucked up and you need to pursue this. This is a major game changer. Okay, so let's say that you get to level 24, you've put years or even months of your time maxing out your storage, you've got money into this, and you can't access an extremely important feature of the game. What are you going to do? How are you going to proceed on? Okay, so you burn through the only tokens that you have. Great, now what? Now you're telling me that you're just perfectly okay with writing off never being able to complete an epic project ever? That's not okay. Now, you would think, oh, just contact EA and they'll fix it. No, they're not fixing it. They're not doing shit. Okay? I have so many people. I'm going to show you another guy. He popped up yesterday. And I asked him if I could go ahead and use his messages here. Now, he sends me this, okay? And he says, hi, Missy, I'm level 24. I cannot get epic projects to work. In YouTube, you asked me to send you screenshots of my city, and you will find them below, okay? Now, location, landmarks, Okay, those types of categories, not parks, landscape, or mayor's pass. Those three do not have epic projects. Every other one, beach, mountain, those should show you epic pointers immediately. The moment you hit level 24, up a piece on your menu when you click on your buildings, and it should show those epic pointers. And if it doesn't, you got problems, okay? Now, he says, I'm in contact with EA, and I have now been transferred to the experts. Yeah, lovely. Experts of EA, I got to see this. Okay, but have not heard from them yet. Happy to hear any suggestions that you may have. Let me know if you need any further screenshots. So, looking at his screenshots that he sent me here, as he states in his message, you can see here he's level 24, okay? If I pull it over, you can see he's level 24. He's got 545 storage. How long do you think it took him to get that? Now he's just screwed? He can't access anything? I mean, that's fucked up. Is that not fucked up? Right? Okay. So he proceeds on. Now you see here, he's got the maxes. So he's definitely either winning mega or spent a good chunk of money. He's got 2,500 cash. Here he is. He's got the heliports. He's got the opera house here for the entertainment category. The football field. I mean, it's clearly obvious that he should have the epic project feature available, right? And he doesn't. He's got, and if you look here in the background, he's got fully regular residentials maxed out. It's been months, weeks. No epics. I mean, it's not like, oh, just give it a day. Oh, just rearrange shit. No, it's not fixing it. That is not the solution. So now what? Right? Are you just going to tell these people that they're fucked and just, oh, well? That's unacceptable. It really is. To me, that's unacceptable. If anything, that they should have to reimburse you with a city with nothing but every bit of stats that you have acquired and then some. Because that's some bullshit. It really is. I'm not going to lie. Like, this shit has me floored, you guys. You don't even know. Because it's not just, oh, this one thing, right? Just go past this one thing, and you just have this perfect business with this perfect company and perfect game. They have taken something that had potential, and they have just completely shit all over it, right? So, okay, he's got all his factories. Not that that has anything to do with epics. As you can see, though, I mean, here, fully regular residential. He's got plenty of coverage. No epics. He's showing every residential on his map. No epics at all. Here, he's got, it's absolutely unlocked. Okay. Now, he shows here, if you look at his buildings, that there is no epic pointers in his menu of any kind, which everything that we've talked about here. You can even link this video to him if you want and tell him Missy said to fuck off. That's what they can. I'm serious. They are fucked up, dude. I don't care. Fuck them people, dude. They need to seriously need to be treated a little more, like, better. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some fucked up shit. All right. So, here he has, you can see here he's got a total of 32 homes. Hang on. Why does he have 9 abandoned? Wait, no, that's my map. What the fuck? I was going to say, that's my regional map. What the hell? That doesn't even make sense. Okay. That's right. I sent him a screenshot. This is his. He's got 66 residents, 8 of which are ready for upgrade. This proves, in case anybody was wondering, 66. Because I don't think he's bulldozed any. I mean, maybe he has, but I don't think so. Now, unfortunately, I have no solution for him. Which sucks because it's such a really good aspect of the game. And right now, it's doable. Right now, he is at 545 storage. He's level 24, and he's got a big stock rate. Speed token. You proceed on as a higher level player. You don't really win, right? So, what are you going to do? I mean, you're just accepting, like, oh, I'm just fucked and I can't. And then okay, how about the fact that he's sitting there with 66 ugly ass houses and he's wasting precious time that he could be turning these into gold epics at his level. So what? He's just supposed to proceed on and level up and not do his epics? I mean, how is this acceptable is what I'm saying. You take months of someone's time and money and you just rob them of a very important feature of the game. And then just say, oh, well, that's not cool. So that is why I have decided, is it worth the risk? No. And that is why I want to make it very clear to you guys what you are taking the risk for if you camp. Okay, so why am I taking the walkthrough city up to level 24 ASAP? That's why. Because you bet your ass that if I get to level 24 and I don't have an epic project and I spent years of my time like that, I'm going to smash that phone. I'm serious. Like, I'm done with the game. I'm done with all of it. Because that's unacceptable to me. Now, the way I see it is this. You don't want to be put in this situation, at least not knowing what's going on, right? So I'm going to warn you guys, this is what you have. These are your options. If you choose to camp and stock up storage and you hit level 24 and you can't do epics, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to be fucked, okay? Is it worth the risk to you? If you have decided, you know what, yes, I'm going to take the risk, then fine. But I'm not taking the risk. So I'm going to bring the walkthrough city up to level 24 ASAP. I'm going to speed level it. Now, this is the next change that's happening to the Missy's Building Guide, okay? I'm not doing any airport homes of any kind. Airport homes, the reason that I had you guys doing it before was so that when you got to level 30, you could focus solely on doing your epics and not having to worry about, buying landmarks and things like that. With this particular issue in hand, and given the, how to explain this? Given the fact that you're going to be speed leveling to 24 and you're going to be camping level 24, it's going to be advised that you do only regular residentials to maximize your ability to complete your epic projects before having to level, because you already have a couple things going against you at this point, right? So, I mean, it's like, it's up to you. Do you really want to risk it and then say, you know what? Hang on, this mic keeps unplugging. I've got a mic that plugs into the earpiece. It's like earbuds, not actual headphones, and got the mic that comes down. And yesterday I was in Walmart and I pulled it through the shopping cart and it kind of bent it. So if the sound's messed up for you guys, someone please tell me, because it happened yesterday on Realm. It kept making this weird like squeaking noise. Okay, so here's option one. Proceed on with the Missy's Building Guide the way that it's written. Okay? Meaning stop leveling at 20. Camp till you hit 350 storage, and then proceed on to level 24. And don't leave level 24 until you have that list of things done. And I'm going to pull that up actually real quick here on my screen. Now, the option here, where is it? That's the production guide. All right, there it is. Okay, this is the guide that you guys should have a copy of. Anybody who does not have a copy of this, click on my channel, click on my playlists. Every single one of my playlists should have a video labeled 14-minute gold epic, okay? In that video, there is a description. In the description of that video, all three of my guides are linked in that video. Now, this here is the introduction to the guide, okay? I'm not going to go through all that right now. But when you hit level 25, do not unlock regional maps, okay? There's a big warning in red letters about level 25 and 30. If you go up to level 30, you are seriously fucking your game up. And I mean like beyond repair, okay? I'm talking years of repair is what I'm trying to say. So seriously, stop, pump the brakes, and watch my Crossroads video that's going to be coming out here. Now, level 31, if you've already proceeded on past level 30 and you are not quite level 31 yet, do not go up to level 31. You're already screwed enough, okay? Again, I have it all explained here in the Missy's Building Guide, so pick up a copy of it. Like I said, there's going to be a few changes, but you'll notice them, all right? Now, I go through and I kind of explain to you guys what you're going to be doing. The Missy's Guide, I don't know. I'm just going to call it something else. I don't think I'm even going to make changes to this document itself. I think I'm going to copy this document make changes, and then call it the Missy's Building Guide 2 or something. I don't know, we'll see. The upgraded version. And I'll list the changes right at the very top of the document so you guys can decide what you want to do. Now, this here, we're going to talk about, okay, so camping. So right here, I tell you guys only to upgrade regular homes from levels 1 to 18. This is going to change, okay? If you can, to get the cash that you can acquire and get it, you know, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I'm going to focus on unlocking all my shop slots. I'm going to focus on working my way up the leaderboard of the Contest of Mayors. But I want you to speed level to 24. I'm talking go as fast as you can go. I don't care if you've got 90 fucking storage by the time you hit level 24. You don't want to waste your time, right? So screw yourself so bad to where you're not going to be able to get storage. Trust me. And in fact, I tested this on a feeder city the other night after I had talked to the one guy, the first guy that had gotten contact with me. I made a city on my old phone, and I speed leveled it to 24. And I saw a lot more storage with those. I had I had 65 storage when I got to level 24. And I saw a lot more storage. The game was like making up for what I didn't have. Okay. So be patient with it. It's certainly not worth the risk. It's just not worth the risk. You're looking at weeks or months of your time being thrown down the drain. And not to mention money and endless hours of hunting on story or on global and things like that. So, is your algorithm going to be so fucked up that you can't find anything? Absolutely not. Now, here's what you're gonna do: all regular homes. Why? Because if you look at your map, you're gonna have. Hang on, let me check the comments section, you guys, because they're not popping up on my screen here. What do you mean, did I make what rule? What are you talking about? Okay, San, when you come back, tell me when you're here, because me and you, we need to have a little chat about the group rules. I'm gonna be making a group rules video, but I have no clue what you're talking about. All right? So, back to what I was trying to say about this. This part of your checklist, like I said, for the Building Guide 1, proceed on the same if you want to take the risk. 350 storage to 400 is absolutely plenty enough. The reason that I recommended that was so that when you got to level 24, like when you got there, you would have 350 storage, and that would be more than enough for you guys to prep for your epics and start getting those epics done. Now, when you speed level, that's going to change. You're not going to be able to do epics with 60 storage, right? And you shouldn't be. You do have a couple other benefits. You are going to be able to start producing donuts at level 18. So that's going to be a nice chunk of change for you that you're not going to normally have that early on in the game. You're going to be setting your roads up to not need upgraded. You're going to have that as well going for you. Now, about the only thing you have going against you is the little bit of algorithm that's going to be fucked up from levels 10 to 24. But it's certainly worth, it's absolutely worth it, okay? Now, what you're going to do, once you hit level 24, you've speed leveled that age bar up. I don't know exactly how high. Last time when I was testing it, if I didn't put it above age 10, it locked out the group feature and the Facebook feature. I was unable to save my game saves through Facebook. So pull that feature all the way to the right, okay? At least above 18, just to be safe. Now, for ASAP, don't wait. Really thorough with the details that you provide. Explain to them that you've got everything that you need done, and see if they ever do anything about it, and stop playing that city immediately, because it's just garbage to you until they fix it, right? Now, you can save your progress and restart if you'd like, if you're not completely annoyed with the game, which I wouldn't blame you if you were. Yeah, so the other thing here that's going to be changing in the Missy's Building Guide, the airport, okay? A lot of you guys are really concerned about population and unlocking the airport. You're going to have more than enough population by the time you upgrade these homes to level 24. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Do not start producing Santa items on that city unless you're producing the decoration, the little holly bush thing. Everything else, do not produce it. An absolute ripoff. Now, what you're going to do, though, is you're going to try to unlock your barn, your building supply store, and your donut shop. Those are the three main you're going to focus on. Okay, you're going to run nails full-time, donuts and flour full-time. That's going to be your main focus. Now, try to get into a club that does war. Anybody here that does not go to a club that does war, you will not be able to be successful in Mega. Now, could you get lucky one week if you get put up against people that don't give a shit and win? Yeah, that's possible. But realistically, you will not be successful in Mega if you cannot do your tasks. Now, we're going to talk about why that is. So, I have a girl on Facebook that she has two says she can't cancel the war ones because it would lower her average too much. But because they're sitting there, she proceeds on doing lower ones and ends up basically lowering her average anyways, or she can't, or she can do anything to where, again, she doesn't finish in time. So you have to be consistent. You cannot afford to do tasks that take 18 hours, okay? You can't do it. If you're looking at 3 days left, you've got 60 in Mega. You got 5 days to finish. Plus the 15 tickets, because you know that the guy above you is using tickets, right? So you got 75 tasks in total to finish in 5 days. Plus you got to sleep and work and eat and have a life. So you got to really think about that. Anytime that you decide to take on a task that takes 10, 12, 15 hours, you're seriously, you got to make up for that time wasted. Okay, that is why tokens are so important. That is why touching factory tasks should not be taken lightly. And that is why you pay cash to speed up those flights and things like that. Going back to the airport, okay, you will not unlock the airport until you hit the Mega League. Don't even mess with it, okay? People are too tempted to pay for this, and it really hurts to do as many land upgrades as you can possibly get done as fast as you can get them done so that when you get to Mega, you don't have any available. Because that task is going to set you back so far, it's not even funny. All right? Now, as soon as you get the opportunity to upgrade your factories, again, still following the Missy's Building Guide, get those 5-slot factories as soon as you possibly can. Make that a priority. Take any coins. Do not upgrade roads. Okay? Do not boost pop with parks. Don't go. I mean, you can buy a park here and there, but don't go. And once you get to the point where you are trying to get enough pop to get the airport, okay, you're going to unlock the transportation category. Now, let me get the checklist up here. Yeah, I'm going to have to retype this whole ordeal here. So let's open up the game real quick. I'm going to show you guys something. The transportation category, as we've talked about in the previous videos here, you have education and transportation unlocked at the lower level. Once you hit level 20, you're going to unlock silver tokens. Okay? It's going to help you with your contest to mayor's assignments, but you're going to go past that. You're going up to level 24 to make sure you have epics available to you. Now, if you get into a club that does war, if they lose, that's a benefit to you, but you have to launch at least one time. During this time, anytime that you have the monster available in your city, and this, I don't care what level you are, anytime you have the monster available, hang on a second, you guys. Okay. Anytime you have the monster available, you're going to want to launch on the monster. Now, before, this was not the case. Because before you did not have the VU Pass, before you just got the rewards from the monster and they were an absolute ripoff, right? Well, if you click on the boat here, you'll notice that you have a little symbol on the right-hand side. This is your VU Pass. Okay, whether you purchase it or not, you get the blue part. Most of you know this already. When you launch on the monster, your energy is separate from when you launch in war. Try to get the war assignments that you can get done. But more importantly, you need to launch as many times as you can without going broke. Okay, don't just sit there and do, war deliveries until you're just flat ass broke. That's not what I'm saying. But you need to launch quite a bit because you want to stack up all this stuff. All right? I'm talking war cards, boosters, war simoleons, all of it. Stack all that up because when you get to Mega, you're going to want to have all that stuff available to you in order to be successful. Now, you're going to get 3,000 point tasks to upgrade war cards, okay? Try to only do those tasks in Mega, but in the beginning, in order for you to be successful in unlocking this pass, you need to unlock some high point cards. So as soon as you get some high point cards available, do one unlock on them and then launch them, in war or whatever. If your club's in war and you do not have at least 35 homes on your map, you will not be able to participate unless they recently changed it. That's what it was. Now, if you're in war and you do not launch at least one time, you do not get any reward. Okay? So you should get the defeat reward and the victory reward. If your club wins, you get the victory reward for whatever arena you're in. If your club loses, you get the defeat reward, which is the war simoleons, the silver tokens, and the gold keys. Now, if you go to your war map here, okay, so click on your VU Pass, right? As you proceed on, this is the level 2 of the VU Pass. So you're just going to keep unlocking and collecting all this stuff. And you can collect this stuff as soon as you want because there's really no benefit to the pass aside from the Earn Simoleons, if you were doing the Earn Simoleons challenge, and or if you wanted to save room on space in your inventory. Okay? So, let's see here. The boosters here. These, what you're going to do with your war simoleons, every 45 minutes, your store should refresh, okay? Now, what you do here is, these are level 1 jackpots. See how they have a little 1 underneath? And how it has a star with a plus. If you click purchase, it's going to tell you what this is, how many you have in your inventory. Now, you're going to purchase the level 1 jackpots. The only difference between level 1 and level 2 and level 3s are the duration in which they run. Okay, so if you have a total of maximum energy, right, and you purchase a level 1 jackpot, you should be able to kill that person within the 10 minutes required. The reason that the level 2s and 3s are beneficial is because if you coordinate your attacks with other players in your group, they can shield bust the other players, which repairs that person's city, allowing other players to launch on that same jackpot that you launched, right? Or if you put an energy pump on yourself, it allows you to have a little bit more time available to attack the target before the jackpot runs out. Okay, that's what that's for. So don't waste your level 2s and 3s unless you plan on coordinating attacks with other players or unless you're able to hit that same target multiple times. Now, every 45 minutes, make a habit of checking your shop and try to buy as many level 1 jackpots as you possibly can. Because as you proceed on and you get high level attacks, what you're going to want to do is the moment that you're in war, you're going to want to make sure you have maximum energy, and you're going to want to make sure that you're launching your highest attacks. Okay, launch your lowest ones first, then your highest one last. Right? That way you get the maximum number of points. For example, to make this really clear for those of you who are kind of confused, if somebody has a bar of 14 health, right, and I was to, let's say, hit them with a 1200 here for 8, right? I'm using 8 energy, meaning I'll have 4 energy left. But I'm going to be taking 10 of their health, meaning only 4 is going to be remaining, right? What I could do is I could do this attack multiple times, right? So I had, what would I have left? I'd have 4, so I could do 2, 4. I could launch the magnetism twice and then launch the large attack if I wanted. Or if you're coordinating attacks, you would want to get the person down to 1 health, and then have whoever can hit for the hardest, have them hit that person with the 1 health. That goes for anybody who is at 1 health. Do not waste the people with the 1 health. Do not waste your small attacks on those people, because another player in your group can hit that person for a hell of a lot more and obtain war points. So let's just say this guy had 1 health left, and you can hit him with the comic hand for 1 damage, but I can hit him for 10 damage. That earns us a hell of a lot more war points and still puts him under shield. So you would actually want to hit somebody with maximum health, right? Now, this all depends on what type of group that you're in and what your goals are for war. Some people, everybody has their own war techniques. Every group is different. Some groups make you coordinate attacks before anybody launches. Some people don't care. It's a free-for-all. Some people wait till the last minute to come out from under shield. Everybody has their own techniques. So you just have to follow the rules for whatever group that you're in. But as far as your personal goals here, your personal goal is to earn as many war points as you can possibly earn and unlock as many war tiers as you can possibly unlock, so that when you get to Mega, you are able to do those tasks easily. Okay? That's the whole goal here. What you don't want to have happen is unlock a shit ton of war cards, okay? And then when you get to Mega, you get all these 3,000 point assignments and you can't do them because you've already unlocked everything. And that is another reason why you want to unlock your VU tower and launch your VU. Do not, and I repeat, do not sell your VU ever. I don't care what level you are. I don't care how many coins you need. Do not sell it. It's not worth it, ever, okay? That 500 coins or the space is not worth it. You can launch that VU and turn it into gold keys, which are much more valuable to any player, okay? If you're a player that focuses on epics, you can buy specialty buildings with those keys. If you're an avid war player, what do you do with the keys? You unlock war cards. Don't sell your VU. That's foolish, okay? I had a guy in my group the other day. He's over here selling all his VU off for coins. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? Oh, I needed space. Okay, so why don't you launch them? Okay, like, why are you selling? I'm not understanding. I've talked about this many times in my videos. So, you guys, rares are extremely valuable. Don't just give them away for nothing. And coins is considered nothing in my mind, right? So, don't do that. When it comes to storage, dozer, and VU, those are 3 extremely important rare items. Don't sell them. Don't just give them away. Trade them, okay? Even if you have no use for dozer, you have use for the others. If you have no use for storage or dozer, you have use for VU, okay? So trade something. Shut your car up, dude. All right. Now, what else is changing? We've got the residentials covered, the epics covered, and the VU pass covered. You're going to unlock, so I know that a lot of you guys are going to ask, this store, okay, is going to be your main, these 2 stores are going to be your main money maker. So try to unlock these 2 stores first, maxed out, along with this one here. So this one, again, is going to be one of your main money makers when you're making nails. Now, anytime that you get the option to produce, like, let's say that you want to run a speed token, okay? And you have a task or whatever. Just be careful or use the production guide. We've given you guys a chart that it's an easy, quick chart. You just look at it and it tells you exactly how many items that you can finish on any kind of token for any kind of shop you may have. So if you have a level 1 shop and you want to use a times 12 token on a specific item, we've given you a cheat sheet, okay, that's in the production guide. So again, anybody on the Facebook group, go to Facebook, click on our group, click the announcements section, and pick up a copy of the production guide. If you click on my channel, watch my production guide video. There's one labeled tokens or how to use the production guide for the contest of mares. Though that video is extremely helpful. It's going to explain exactly how those charts work. Okay, they're really easy once you understand and get the hang of them. You're going to be like, wow, why did I never use this before? Or you can sit there and do the math yourself the old-fashioned way, and that just seems like a waste of time, though, to have to do that every time, right? So, yes, Lo is also making a chart. I reviewed it the other night, but I couldn't get anything to work. So I don't know. I must not have been doing something right. Or maybe I just didn't have the authority to, click anything or something, or I don't know what. But I'll have to talk to you about that in Messenger or something. Okay, so the next thing, you guys, if you're not doing the contest of mares, try to run your production plan the best that you can to make maximum coin, okay? But more importantly, anybody here that's speed leveling to 24, you're going to camp level 24. And now what you can do is try the best that you can this week. I don't care what league you're in, okay? It doesn't matter. And this is super important, so anybody listening, pay very close attention. Anybody who's playing the contest of mares, or anybody who wants to unlock this, this side pass here. Since you're speed leveling anyways, you might as well, it doesn't matter what league you're in, okay? I don't care if you're in the bottom league. If you guys get a regular residential upgrade, so one like this, do regular homes, okay? You can do these assignments. I don't care if they're worth, 800 points or whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting it. What I mean by that is it doesn't matter if you're in the really low league. If you're in the higher leagues, obviously only do this task if it benefits you, okay? But what I'm saying is you're speed leveling regardless, so you might as well get the plumb bob points for it, right? Now, even though it says 5, it's technically more than that because you get points for doing the upgrade itself. And that's why this one is lower than all the others. So in case anybody was wondering why the residentials are so low, that's why. So all the residentials, you should get 20 for doing the actual upgrade itself. Give me a second here. It's freezing out here. Gotta turn the heater on. Okay. Let's see here. I did finish that epic yesterday. For those of you who were wondering, this is the ugly transformation that we got. Isn't that a beauty? But it's gold and whatever. So, yeah. It's going to park right there for a little bit. Now, as far as what to boost your pop with, once you hit level... that's what I was going to talk to you guys about. So, levels 1 to 24. Only doing regular residential upgrades. From level 24 to 29, you're only going to do regular residential upgrades. Okay? This is a big change. Now, let's say that you have completed the Missy's Building Guide. You've proceeded on. You've converted all your homes to epics. Okay, so CPT is going to be doing... he's going to be right around in this zone within the next, couple weeks, depending on how quickly he wants to go about it. So let's say you're level 24, you've got all your homes converted to gold epics, okay? Because you're not going to be converting any of them to anything less than gold. Now, pretend for a minute that you're level 24, all your homes are maxed, they're all converted to gold epics, and you have everything on the Missy's Building Guide done. Your max storage, land, mountain, everything's done. Okay? Now, what do you do from there? How do you proceed on? You're going to level up to 25, and you're going to unlock a couple items there. Now, when you hit level 25, you're going to have the option to unlock a regional map, and you're going to deny that option. Okay, do not unlock a regional map. You're going to proceed on to leveling up only regular homes, not one Latin home or airport. Okay, why is this? Because if you look at your menu here, you don't actually unlock landmarks until level 30, right? So you really have no use for the airport homes until then. Now, before, it was like, okay, you had to have them anyways. So you might as well have them done so that you can focus on your epic projects. But you know what? We're going to change that because of all the speed leveling and everything else. We're changing that part of the guide. So you're going to do only regular homes all the way up to level 30. Once you hit level 30, you have an option, a major option, and that is going to be, if you want to do the airport homes, if you are really itching to buy the landmarks that require that. So if you click on your landmark category here, you've got the Big Ben that requires 10 London homes. If you just can't live without that building, then go ahead and upgrade one upgrade on a London house, put it to the side. Upgrade one, and so forth. And you're going to keep doing that, okay, until you get to 10, and then you're going to stop. And then you'll be able to purchase these buildings. If you don't care, then your most efficient option is going to be proceeding all the way up to level 43, doing only regular residentials and converting them into gold epics, okay, all the way up. So realistically, a perfect city, the most efficient possible, would be a city from level 1 to 43, only regular homes, all maxed out, all gold epics. Why level 43? Because level 43 is the last level that you unlock anything. You're going to unlock popcorn. Okay, that's your last item you're going to unlock. Why is that important to an epic project? Because the more items that you have unlocked, the more expensive and more difficult the epics become. Once you've hit level 43, that's the most expensive that your epics will ever be, aside from having regionals. Okay? So you want to get the most expensive or most difficult ones done first. That way you have nothing but a bunch of gold epics to fall back on. So that when you decide, you know what, I want a couple silver or bronze, if you even did, then you could say, you know what, I can afford to go ahead and utilize one of these very valuable homes and put it in and make it a silver or bronze epic. And by valuable, I mean you are limited, okay? So I think people don't quite understand how valuable their experience is in this game. You have a total number of experience you're allowed before you level up, right? And you can't take that back, okay? So if you put a house down here and you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do an upgrade on this house. You click on this and it's going to tell you exactly how much experience it's going to cost, right? This one's 100, okay? Now, clicking on others, some of them are lower. They all change. Now, you can't undo this action. And this action has consequences, right? So every time you level up, you unlock things, and or the difficulties of the game rise because of the competition. So if you take that very valuable limited experience and you produce or make Latin homes or Newtown homes or whatever, you're basically saying, you know what? I would rather have this home on my map providing me zero benefit. It's only costing me by being here, right? Or you can have nothing but a benefit. You can have a home that is going to generate a portion of a speed token for the duration of its lifespan. And houses never bulldoze themselves. So unless you decide to get rid of that house, it's going to provide you with unlimited resources, essentially, because it's providing you with the speed token. Now it's your decision on which speed token it's going to provide based off which epic you decide to do on it. You can't redo it once it's been done. So if you choose to waste a very valuable home on making it into a bronze or a silver, then what? Now you're limited. And so your best option is to go with gold for when it's as cheap as possible. So if I say, okay, the cheapest you can do an epic for right now, saying that you had 3-pointer buildings with like 500 storage and you're at level 24, an average epic is going to run you about 150 grand to hit gold. Okay? Now, if you decide that you're going to do silver instead of gold, you're saying that you would make 3 times less money from that token than if it was a gold epic. Right? So if you can make 180 nails versus 60 nails in one token, do you really want to do that? I don't think so. Right? So it's not worth it. Now, if you proceed on to once you hit level 43, it doesn't matter what you do after that. You've already unlocked all the items in the game aside from regionals. So you can level up all the hell you want. It doesn't matter now, right? Now, you do have a little bit more competition as a higher level player in the contest of mayors. That's about it. But between levels 43 and 61, the only thing that you unlock is time discounts. So anybody here who's level 43 that is camping for storage items, there's no purpose in that. You've already unlocked everything. Okay? Now, how can you make your epics really difficult? Unlocking a regional map. Just unlock one regional map is going to cost you, it's going to add about a 50 grand price tag to your epic projects. Okay? Now, regionals are not cheap. They're not easy. They're difficult to get items for, but they do have a benefit. After you hit level 43, after you've already unlocked everything. I've already set you up with the perfect city, okay? You've got max storage, you've got max everything. But for a lot of you guys that are proceeding on with this issue, a lot of you guys are level 43, you're at like 200 storage, you've got half your land done, you've bulldozed 90% of your buildings, you've got no shop slots, you've never won Mega, you're spending crazy amounts of money on your roads, and you're wondering why you're drowning, right? And then you come to me and you're like, Missy, should I restart? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So essentially what I did was I took down every possible problem you guys could have, anything that would essentially drown you, and I said, okay, we're going to take problem A and we're going to have a solution for problem A. Then we're going to take problem B and we're going to make a solution for that. This is the only solution to this current epic problem, is to speed level, see if you get it, and if you get it, camp and fix your problems from there. Because if you get all the way up to level 24 and you've spent 6 months hunting storage, you're going to be really pissed off if you can't access a very important feature of the game. Okay? So those are the changes that are going to be made. If anybody has any questions on how to proceed on, or, if you, like I said, if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask, because I'm going to be finalizing this guide and it's going to be hopefully up by the end of the weekend. I will put a document up, and then this video is going to be linked to that document. Okay, so any questions at all? Give me a second here. Okay. There's my button. I was wondering where that damn thing went. No. I mean, you can, if you would like to unlock the airport before you hit Mega, if you have the money, and if you can refrain from doing any shipments, then yeah, you can do it. It's just a lot of people seem to want to make the right decisions on their assignments, and they're having difficulties understanding, hey, yes, this is the right decision in Mega, but you're not in Mega. So it's not worth it. So let's say that you had a delivery to London for 2K in your list, right? A lot of people will do that and pay the money even though they're in the lower leagues when they really shouldn't. It's just not worth it in the lower leagues. quick, fast, easy points are what you need to do. All you really want to do is get promoted, and if you get the top prize, great. That's excellent. But you really, do you really want to give up 70, or, okay, so do you really want to spend 300 cash playing City League or something and getting 70K in coins to win? Is it worth it to you? No, absolutely not. So people have a hard time understanding the difference between, okay, I'm putting these resources in, and I'm benefiting by winning. A lot of people get blinded by the competition. They put in more than they win. And then they sit there like, okay, cool, I won. Well, no, you didn't really win. You might have got first place, but you didn't benefit anything. That's a fact. I mean, if you win Mega every week, but it costs you 4,000 cash, what's the point, right? So in the lower leagues, don't spend money on that kind of shit. And a lot of people are just having a hard time understanding that. And I keep telling them, you're in the lower league. That would be the correct choice if you were in Mega. But you don't want to play like that because you're not in Mega right now. If you can refrain from it, then yes. You can pay to unlock the airport. You're going to get airport assignments whether you unlock it or not. So you're going to have to do the best that you can to work around those. And that's the other thing a lot of people are having difficulties with. So, for example, I have something I'm going to show you guys. Athena, a guy in my group, he has a perfect example of reverse rotation, and I'm going to use those screenshots to teach you guys something here in just a couple seconds. I got to pull money out of the bank, and then we're going to talk about that. Oh, hey, what's up? Well, lawn chairs are nothing, Shang. You want to know what suck? I'll tell you what suck. Lawn chairs take, what, an hour and a half, if I remember right, for a 3-star shop? Hang on a second. Imagine pulling up the production guide and look at how many... Hang on a second here, I'll show you. Look at how many you can make on a gold token on a 3-star shop of fire pit yogurts or, barbecues and things like that. Anything that takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to make. Sometimes I get assignments to produce fire pits. Oh my god, those are the worst. Or yogurts. I don't understand why anybody makes those. Other than needing them. And, let's talk about that for a second. So, there's a guy, I've talked about him before. He runs a Facebook group, and he doesn't want anybody to advertise my video content. He only wants EA Game Changers on there, which give out horrible content. So if anybody here advertises my content on his page, feel free. He's an asshole. Okay, so first off, let's see here. So, I'm always in my car. Are you serious? That's where I record all my videos. Please tell me you caught on to that by now. Okay, or not all my videos. Some of them I do at home, but very rarely. Okay. That is not the right button. What am I doing? There, hang on. Right. Give me a second, you guys. I gotta find the... There it is. Okay, so this is a perfect example of reverse rotation. Now, what do you see here? He's in Mega. What would your suggestion be? What do you guys think he should do? This is the first top of his list, and this is the second half. So, going through this, he's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades that he can't do. He's level 24. Oh, yeah, I was pissed. Okay, so Shang had me floored yesterday. Now, let's see here. We have a love-hate relationship. I have that with a lot of people. Take it seriously. Usually I'm cooled off by the time war ends. I go, I want to boot somebody so bad we're in war, and I'm like, fuck. And then like 3 days pass and I'm over it, so it's whatever. Okay. Yeah, so regular residential for 1,600 is what he has. Okay, so he can't do any upgrades. Now, if you look very closely, what would you do in this situation? Because this happens to a lot of people. So first off, you would do a task assessment to see where you're at. Now, right now, he comes to me and he says, I'm in Mega, and I need to know what to do. So what's the very first thing you look at? City level, right? Okay, he's level 24, right? Next thing, what do you look at? Points value. What is his points? He's got 28,000. Tells me he's done, if he's in Mega and he's got 45 left, he's done 15, right? So out of 15, he's got 28,000. So he's right around a 2K average, just below it. Now, he's got 3 days, 9 hours left. So he's pretty on track, but he needs to definitely get a move on. So now that we've assessed and do an Earn Simoleons challenge, now going down the list, he wouldn't do an epic project for 1,200 points. That's just foolish, okay? The repairs, okay, which is a perfect placement for that stupid thing. And then he's got an upgrade, another upgrade. So what are his options here? What should he do? This is a reverse rotation. This is a perfect example of what a reverse rotation is. A reverse rotation is when you have a bunch of non-premium tasks and or low points value tasks that are all ones that you really can't do, right? But you got to do something. You got to open up something. So what does he do? Anybody got an answer? The key assignment is the incorrect, absolutely incorrect answer. So I've talked about this many times in my videos. When you guys are in Mega, you do not touch the key tasks unless you absolutely have to, and if they're worth about 2,000 points, because they will come back. And once it comes back, it's going to be sitting there in your list again. Stuck here. Next thing we look at is points value. Why is points value important? Because we know that you can only have so many points on each task, right? So let's say you're not going to have, like, every task is not going to be worth 2,000 points or higher. That's not going to happen, right? So higher as long as those two are sitting there. The reason that he's fallen a little bit, behind on time is he was prepping the sugar task. Why is the sugar the incorrect choice? Because it's 1,200, and usually it's not worth anything more than, 1,400 points? Try not to touch those, okay? If you can avoid it, try to avoid it. Now, if he clears up any of these other ones, then he's got problems. So he's going to have to cancel one. First, you would cancel one regular residential for the 2,400 and see what you get. Now, he ended up getting a 2,500 mountain assignment, which was excellent. Okay. After he did that, I believe he got a VU assignment, which was great. Now, I haven't spoken to him since then, so I don't know what's happened since then, but that is his only option in this current predicament. So anybody here who is in a situation like this, okay, that's the whole goal here. So if you choose to do anything, you have to see how that's going to affect your gameplay. All right. If he touches, he's the one that he did the gold keys task when I told him not to last time, and he ended up in a really shitty situation. He ended up in a loop for a launch 3 VU, so it was 3,000, and then he had a gold key for 2K, and he had this loop back to back to back to back, and he ended up rolling that loop for like 50 assignments. It was ridiculous, and he went unbelievably broke and spent a shit ton of cash and VU, and it was really bad. So, you know, he learned his lesson on touching that gold keys task when you shouldn't. Now, what would his choice be if he was in a different league? If he was in a lower league, let's say, he would want to do quick, fast, easy points. So he would do things like the gold keys and the repair or the... but a task holding a points value and not having given you opportunity is equally as... Right? Now, what he had done before this was if I remember right in his messages, he said that he had... let's see. Says, here's my city stats, my most current list and tasks. Okay, hold on. He said that the sugar task, wait, then run 2 rounds of text for 2,400. Okay, so the textiles, yes, he would want to run, but it sounds like because he said that he had to run 2 tasks of the textiles, it sounds like he's in a loop or at the start of a loop. So, I mean, if he does the sugar again, what do you want to bet that he gets textiles? And so he has to break that loop, that cycle, by doing a different task. That's how you break the loop, right? So that's how he did it. And he was able to break it and do the mountain and get 2,500 points and kind of get a move on. So even if because he had been working on the sugar, don't just cash in on something just because you've done it, right? So I told him in the messages, I said, look, even if you had the sugar done right now, you still would not want to collect on it because it's going to come back. Or give you the opportunity to come back, and then it's just going to be holding a place value in your list again. And now you're 800 points below, right? So by ignoring it, canceling one, he was able to get one for 2,500 points and kind of make up for some of the points that he's lost. All right, now, any other questions for the Missy's Building Guide or in general? Do you guys, did any of that make sense? Are you kind of understanding a little bit more now? I mean, because if you guys are still having trouble, and I'm sure, there's going to be a lot of you guys that have a lot of questions, the contest of mayors seems to be one of the most difficult things to teach. And the only solution that I can come up with as to why that is because people are not looking at everything, right? You want to look at every single thing in the list. Hey, KF, what's up? I don't know if you saw the first part of the stream, but you'll definitely want to rewind or watch it, when it goes up. Because this one's got a lot of information on the updated Missy's Building Guide stuff. So, the Epic Project problem, for those of you who are coming to the stream late, if you do not have Epic projects available to do at level 24, you got a big problem. You need to contact EA immediately, okay? Just make sure that you go through that checklist that we talked about earlier. All right. Hang on. Damn, those things are sour. Ugh. Ugh. I'm on keto and I buy these, they're kind of like 5-hour energies, but they're nothing like 5-hour energies. Those 5-hour energies will kill you, man. They've got like 97 different ingredients and shit in them. Oh my god. Anyway, these keto energy shots have 3 ingredients: sodium, potassium, and caffeine. But they fucking taste like those sweet tart candies. They're so sour it makes your cheeks water. It's like, damn, dude. I don't like sour shit. I used to when I was a kid, but not now. Okay. Residential upgrade here. Okay. What was it? Somebody had asked me a question here about, it was about production. I can't remember what it was. So if you're on the stream and you want to go ahead and repeat your question. Oh, it had to do with Omega. It didn't even have to do with production. So far, I have not seen an Omega canisters task in a really long time. And people claim that they think that they have removed it from the game. If that is the case, that is a really good benefit for people that do have Omega unlocked, but it still doesn't bring you completely out of the woods on, unlocking Omega level 30, because you still have to get you're still going to get open up the possibility for Omega, the earn Omega coins, and then the upgrade Omega homes, which those are not cheap. And if you hit level 30, between levels 30 and 45 or 43, that is the next thing that you guys are going to want to know is if you decide that once you hit level 30 and you want to wait to do your Omega resources, I don't blame you. I would probably wait. You can start building canisters for the one task that you have, or for the one lab that you have, but you really don't want to build a whole lot of Omega homes between levels 30 and 43. Once you hit level 43, then you can start building Omega homes so that you can buy the Omega resources. So for those of you who are wondering what the Omega resources are, we kind of went through this on the walkthrough city. Which resources are the best option to purchase? Now, when it comes to the sewage plant, it is the basic sewage is the best option. Okay, and by best option, I mean not talking Omega. So at the very end of your list here, you have one at the end of every one of your services, you're going to see the Omega version. Okay, every one of the Omega versions offers 100 units. The issue with these is that they cost 10,000 Neo-Simoleons every time you purchase. So the first one's 10, second one's 20, and so forth. And it doesn't matter what map it's on, you're going to pay no matter what. So if I have to pay 60 grand, I'm going to have to pay 60 grand on whatever map I put it on. Now, they do, like I said, they do cover quite a bit, so it's absolutely worth it in terms that it has no pollution square. It's worth 100 units, and you can buy the first two relatively easily because you can exceed your Omega bankroll without having to upgrade it, right? So a lot of you guys, awesome, that's great. So if you have the Omega bank here, I have 30,000 capacity, and I've been able to purchase several of these services here. So try to exceed your bankroll. The only way that you cannot exceed it is by collecting the coins on the top of the Omega homes. Okay? If you sell the items to the people, you can exceed your bankroll. And if you collect things from the pass. But they're definitely worth it. Now, when it comes to the power, this is your best option here as far as regular coins go. Then you've got the water. This one is your best option. And then you've got waste management is going to be the garbage incinerator is going to be your best option there. Okay? So, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for one without a pollution square, you can definitely pay double the price, but that's just it. You're going to be paying double the price for the coverage. Okay. Now, let's see here. What else? Oh, that's the other thing that's what the production thing was I was going to talk to you guys about. So, for those of you who are in this other person's group, a lot of you guys went on this group and you've asked which items to produce to earn coin, right? Now, what's so interesting to me is somebody had said produce all items, and this person appeared to be semi-intelligent. So I was curious to get his thoughts on that. And once I got to talking with him a little more, I realized why his theory was not successful. And I want to talk about why that is. Okay, so yes, you're going to produce all items, but the way that he said, who are on the Facebook groups, you, again, I've said this in many of my videos, but be very careful who you take advice from and what you listen to, okay? So one of the game at some point, but he's asking in terms of how to make maximum coin, right? So obviously, and I had mentioned to him, I said, obviously you wouldn't produce hamburgers, right? So why would you tell him to make all items? And he says, well, anybody who would produce hamburgers is an idiot anyways. Okay, well, you know what? That's not my point. The point is, so a lot of people either don't have the ability to do the math themselves or are confused, and or maybe they just don't flat want to, okay? Maybe it gives them a headache and they don't want to. They just want a quick answer, right? So I started asking him, okay, well, what's your thoughts on that? Why are you telling people to produce all items? Because it's very misleading to people. And he says, well, you need all items in the game. Yeah, so you're going to have to run your production differently. Yeah, and then he tells me that he has 10 accounts. And I'm like, uh-huh. And he says, if you hold items in mass quantities of everything, then you don't have to worry about coin, which is absolutely true. But the reason that is the stupidest advice you can give to somebody is because how many fucking people here have 10 cities that they, and what he does, and the reason that it works for him. And so for those of you who have taken his advice and or heard this advice, I want to explain why you may be having trouble with it. Okay, so what his theory is that you take every item in the game, okay, and you separate between every city that you have available. You say, okay, this city's going to produce these items. This city's going to produce these items. And what he does is he has what he calls mirroring cities, mirroring depots. And he says, you know what? I'm going to have 40 cupboards on this city, 40 paint, 40 ladders, and he holds about 40 of every single item. No joke. Okay. Now, when he needs an item, he doesn't have to do anything. He just is restocking his big pile of stuff, right? So essentially coins are of no issue for him because he has product, right? And he sells wood and plastic and metal on one of his accounts to the people in his group and or global to make up for coin. Now, the reason that this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard is because how many people here have the ability to do that? Not many. How many people want to do that, for that matter? And now can you think, if you were to run 10 cities, first off, how much of a headache that would be? Secondly, what if you were, now here's some food for thought, what if you were to run all 10 cities with maximum coin efficiency on the days that you have off and then have a full stock of items? There's a no-brainer, right? So essentially, if you have 10 million coins between 10 cities, that's not really that impressive to me, right? Especially when you have this overstock of items and you're not doing anything. You're just making charts, right? So what we did was we gave you guys when we introduced the production plan to you guys, we wrote the introduction out and this is very important, realistic gameplay, okay? That is the key word in our production guide. We did not write it for some crazy person sitting in front of a computer 24 hours a day running 10 fucking cities. Oh, with a daughter that also runs 10 fucking cities. All right? That is not what we're doing. We're saying that the average person has one city and how to be most successful with that, right? Now, even if you could have 10 cities, who would want to do that? That's ridiculous. There's no need for that, okay? So after speaking with him more and talking to him about the shops and things like that, it's like, okay, so if you look at the shops and the production and you say, okay, look, this specific shop right here. Go through every one of these items and figure out which one turns the highest profit. Then you have to figure out how many of that particular item you can actually produce in a day, right? Then you have to look at how many steps go into making said item. Then you have to look at how making this item affects any other shop that you may have. This is not an easy task to build one of these. We did not just sit down and say, okay, this is the most profitable item in this shop and we're going to make it. And then go down the list. It was not that simple. I wish it was. It was much more of a headache than that. All right. Now, that comes into the Santa shop and kind of what we were explaining yesterday with that. And that is, if you look here, by making this item, you have to think of how you're going to come up with the materials for this item and how it affects your gameplay. Okay. So if you can't, you also have to look at the availability of these items. So if you could, let's say you could purchase cream and bread rolls all day long on Global. It would be absolutely worth it to purchase them and turn them into ice cream all day. It would be great, but you can't because you don't see them, right? Now, if you produce if you produce a barbecue for 2 hours and 12 minutes, and you sell that barbecue for $570 versus producing a TV for 2 hours that you can sell for, I think it's what, $2,500 or $2,200? Let me double check just to be sure. I don't have my production guide. I don't have a TV either. I can't remember, but it's like, it might be $1,200, $1,900, $2,500 for the stack. I can't remember. The point is, it's for a hell of a lot more than this stupid damn barbecue, okay? So then you have to take into consideration the spatula that goes into the barbecue as well. Where are you getting the spatula, right? So you got to play a little more strategically to be successful. And simply saying make all items is not beneficial to anybody. Yes, you need to produce all items for different aspects of the game. And that comes back to what I was trying to explain to you guys yesterday about item management. If I choose to sell, okay, so $12.80 versus $5.70, and the barbecue takes 12 minutes longer and takes a spatula instead of factory items that are easily obtained on the global market, right? So if you look at, let's see here. Nails, for example. Why do people not produce nails more often? It takes 2 metal to produce a nail, right? So they say, well, I'm not on my game enough. Okay. How many people are on their game every hour? You're telling me you're not on every hour to fill up your shop? Now, let's say that you are on every 2 hours. Why not put up X amount of nails and then 1 or 2 cement to really earn maximum profits, right? Now, you, of course, have to make certain items within the game that you're going to need throughout the day, right? So let's say that you want to run your production plan just for money. You're going to run it the way that we have written. Now, let's say that you want to run your production plan for epic projects, right? I have no way of saying, okay, here's your epic project production plan. That would be impossible for me to make because I don't know what level you are. I don't know what items you need. I don't have a clue what your inventory is, right? So what you do is you go through your inventory and you say, okay, I don't need this, 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 and this because I can easily obtain it on Global. And you make a list of all the items that you have unlocked. Out of the items you have unlocked, you say, okay, these are the list of items that are an absolute nightmare to find on Global, and you want to hold about 20 of each of those items. Anything that is super expensive, like let's say bread rolls, something that's hard to find but super expensive, okay? Those are usually what they're going to ask for near the end of your epic. Stuff like regional items,
bread rolls. Let's see, what else? Probably gingerbread men. I would say the beef, melons, stuff like that. Large regional items. Those are the types of things like yogurts. They're going to ask you for after you hit silver. Okay? It's going to start off asking you for really cheap, quick, easy things. And as you progress on through, it's just going to get harder and harder. All right? Now, if you prep good enough, you minimize your time drastically. Now, it's always going to try to find that one item that you don't have. But the reason why you want to have multiple pointers is so that you can kind of get over that hump. So yesterday, after we ended the video, I played Realm for like 6 hours, and then I forgot all about the Epic, and then I went back, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. And it was asking for bulbs, TVs, and pink drinks near the end, which are pretty easy items to find on the global market, but they're expensive. Now, the cheaper items it was asking for was like drills, which I didn't really have, and I knew that I should have prepped them, but like I said, if you were here yesterday, you know why we didn't do that. Now, I could have finished the Epic, really quickly if I wanted to go and dump a bunch of money on pizza and bulbs. But I tried to get it done for as cheap as I could, and then, which I was able to finally do. But if you're prepping for a timed Epic, you want to make sure that you have an even amount of everything because time is of the essence, right? And so what you're going to want to do with your regional maps is upgrade those regional hotspots as quickly as you can. It's going to be kind of difficult to do that because to get those things up to a 5-pointer, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. So keep that in mind, okay? As for producing everything, like I said, people are creatures of habit. You guys get on your game, you produce the same items every day, or you get into these routines of, well, this is what I make. If you're anybody that does that, you are not playing correctly. If you wake up every day and you produce the same thing every day, you're not playing right. Okay? You need to produce items based off what you're doing. You need to have goals. And you need to say, you know what? Today I'm all about making money. So every shop is going to be about making money. It's not going to be this, well, just kind of do a little here, a little there. Yeah, I might need a paint later. Oh, well, throw a melon over here. If you play like that, you're not going to get anywhere, right? If you say, well, I don't know what I'm doing today. Well, okay. So what'd you accomplish? Yesterday, I accomplished an Epic project. That's what I accomplished, among other things. But that was my main goal. The day before that, I accomplished buying all the rest of my factories here right up front. But I set little goals like that for myself, right? Even me being the high level that I am with the little things left to do. So on the walkthrough city, if I was to be playing that as often as, you guys are playing your city, set goals. Try to hit those goals. Try to get them done. And make sure that you're completing stuff. Don't just do whatever. All right? I've got a girl in my group right now. She's been in there for years. I'm not kidding you, years. And I'm like, why don't you do an Epic? Oh, well, I don't know. They're hard. Okay. So do you play calm? No, not really. Okay. Are you going to do any, are you making money? No, I'm always broke. It's like, okay, dude. Do you play war? No, I hate war. Well, why the hell are you playing the damn game? I really don't know. It's like, oh my God. I'm over here about ready to beat my head up on a rock. Like, okay, so what do you want me to do then? Because you're complaining about your game and that you're broke and that you want help, but you're not doing anything to fix it, right? So, yeah. I don't know, man. If you play like that, you're gonna end up in a situation like that. That's all there is to it. You need 8 shovels? I don't know if I have any, but I'll look. I got 1 shovel. What else do you need? I've got stuff on global, so you have to tell me when you're here. let me see here. Yeah, I could start a silver token because I got to collect them anyways. 2 garden chair, I got those, I think. There was another thing. I had a whole train of thought and I just forgot what it was. Which sucks because I think it was a rant, if I remember right. Yeah, I got the garden chairs. All right. You needed 2 garden chairs? Is that what you said? Those are up, and then the shovel is up. Okay. Damn, I wish I remembered what the hell I was gonna say. Cement. Let me check. I wasn't paying attention. All right, cement's up. How many points are you at? Wait. Anybody having difficulties finding sugar this week? Oh my god, it sucks. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end this stream and then start up a new one with a different description because we pretty much covered everything that's going to be changing in the Missy's Building Guide, and I don't want to have this video too long. Okay, so I'll be right back.